people, part two of this conversation, people, do you know what I mean? Obviously this is a long stream doing this, people. We're gonna leave it off for this one as well.
Not saying that to say, oh, the woman is gonna shoot. I'm showing it to illustrate that reasonableness based on the person that's using the force is the only thing that matters. So again, me and you can't sit here, right, a Monday morning quarterback and be like, oh,
yeah, we can, because that percentage.
No, we can't.
No,
Myron, hold on.
You're not admitting that percentage.
It sounds like that eye of the law in that who's right, who's wrong in that.
Is very low. Like again, no, I gotta talk to you in broad terms. Listen, if we had to get and you've seen many of these incidents, 100 incidents that you think a fist fight actually would it would actually prove that it was warranted to use a gun. If there was 100 fist fights, how many do you think we would be like, oh, okay, it made sense for him to use a gun, or no, legally he was right to use a gun? It would be probably very few and far in between. So for you arguing this for Chud, it's like, huh? Yo, it's like arguing like, yeah, of course, if I go to the casino and gamble, there's a 2% chance I win, but most of the time I'm gonna lose. No, that is, yes, with self-defense, you are completely right. However, when you try to apply the, well, you know, if it was a woman, it would be a little bit different. It's not a woman. Let's use the variables that it actually exists. And even if you don't want to use past variables, let's just be honest. Which jury, if you think you could seat a jury that's going to say, hey, he got punched once, he's very within his right to shoot that guy and try to kill him, do you think, come on, bro, really?
I personally think people, they're gonna try, well, in Chud's case, he's gonna say, well, I was threatened in the situation. I didn't know what this guy had. He could have had the weapon, could have done this, could have done that to me. I reckon his defense is gonna be that. You can clearly see it though.
Okay.
Is there a possibility? Yes.
Who provoked this altercation?
I'm still going with Chud.
Who closed the distance?
If that's what you want to call the provocation, I think it was provoked the moment he approached the guys. They don't want to talk to him. They didn't approach him. They're not like, you know, hey, they're minding their business even if they're laughing at you. You try to have a conversation with them that they're not willing to do. Hey, we don't want to talk to you. I'm good. We're good.
Okay. Then he disengaged, right?
That I'm not too sure about, but I'll go with your story, yes.
Okay, so he disengaged. This is what the people that actually saw the stream said. Eyewitnesses, several.
Close the distance. Does that mean violence? Does that mean threats? Even if they're like, hey, I'm just walking over to you. Hey, wait, what'd you say again? Is that a threat?
Let's just be honest, bro. This dude, let me be explicit.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we definitely need to see footage of that though. Definitely. If he disengages and go about his business, then the guy who said we don't want to talk to you later on goes to him and follows chat. You know what I mean? Then we will have to see the proof of that. There has to be evidence to prove that. But right now it's just he say, she say, they say.
This dude was the provoker. He walked up to Chud. He antagonized Chud.
But Chud started talking to him first.
No, but he didn't provoke. He didn't say anything. He said, "Hey, how you guys doing today?" Then they said, "Hey, get out of here. You can't be walking around."
All right, let me ask you this question.
And he walks away.
Could this argument be made? Your words is like you're provoking me with your words. I know who you are. I'm black. The mere fact you even initiate this conversation, again, remember, we're also talking self-defense here. How do can we objectively find out what's provoking? Is provoking walking up to? Is provoking talking to?
He didn't provoke them. He went up and said hello. They told him, get out of here. He walked away.
Okay, don't you think they might have found that provoking if they're saying, as soon as they say, he says hello, yo, leave, please, stop, get away from us?
No. Because
why not?
Saying hello to someone is not provoking, and then you tell them, get out of here, and they walk away, like, bro, like that's insane. Like, that is set an insane standard if we could walk around and say, oh, saying hello is provocation.
Yeah, I definitely get what Myron's trying to say. I get it. That would sound stupid. So every conversation would be provoked, even if we said hello, how you doing? Know what I mean? Like what? I do get Myron's point of view in that. I have to agree with him, because yeah, that don't make no sense. So we might as well not say hello to anyone.
Dude, it's not. Like the guy closed the gap on Chud. He said,
what does that mean?
Then he followed him. When I say he closed the gap, he followed him, Act. He literally followed him. He followed him and said, if you say that shit to me about Chud, do that, I got PTSD. Chud says,
if we also follow Stand the Ground.
Let me finish. He walks up to him. He says that shit. Then Chud says, oh, or what, you gonna chip out? Then he socks Chud. He punched him once. Now let's address the second argument. You said that one punch can't constitute to justify deadly force. But then I asked you, well, if a woman gets hit like that, can she use deadly force? You said it depends. Beautiful.
Okay,
That's
so let me just say, generally, 90% of cases.
You gotta let me finish.
No, because you do this argument with the girls that come on your stream. If when the girls come on after hours and they be like, well, I know this one guy, his relationship. You know what you say to them? We're talking generalities. We're not talking about.
It's not about the woman. I'm saying
well, that's why I ask you on a if we're talking about probabilities, how many times, in how many cases have you ever seen it ever being justified that a punch is justified as a gunshot? On a range of probabilities, probably like 5% or less. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you're saying, well, remember, if it was you're changing up all the variables to try to create this particular thing where it probably is going to be valid.
I'm switching the variable to show that your logic doesn't apply. Again, please let me
If
finish,
it applied, we wouldn't have to switch the variables.
Let me finish, please, because you're not letting me finish so I can bring this all together. You said a punch doesn't justify lethal force. I said fine. Then I brought, you know what? Fuck the woman. Let's say it's a man with a pacemaker. Cool? Let's say it's a dude with a pacemaker. He can't.
These
really
are 1% things, Myron. These are 1% things.
It's not about.
He has one leg. Go ahead.
Let's say he has a pacemaker, right? If he gets hit with anything, the pacemaker can stop, right? You might say, does he have a justified use of deadly force, right? Because he could potentially get punched and his pacemaker go down. Would it be fair to say he can use deadly force after a punch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chud has a pacemaker?
Here's the thing. I didn't ask you that to see, does he have a pacemaker? I'm trying to illustrate that you just used the metric I've been talking about. Is it reasonable?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense now. That makes sense.
Reasonableness. Hold on. That reasonableness act, this is so important. Please, bro. If you hear anything out from me, hear this. That reasonable standard shifts based on the person that used the force. Someone who's 6'3", 250 pounds might not be able to justify lethal force after a punch, whereas someone who has a pacemaker, a man, can justify it, or a woman who's 5'1". So what I'm trying to illustrate is the principle that reasonableness is what dictates if the shooting was good. Neither me nor you are in a position to say if Chud was justified and it was reasonable, because we don't know the facts at the time he pulled the gun. He could have seen a knife. He could have heard his buddy saying, kill that motherfucker. He could have felt as though the guy was trying to reach for his gun. There's so many different factors that me and you don't know that are critical.
And you're right.
This is why self-defense cases almost always go to the stand. Why did Kyle Rittenhouse testify? He testified because only he can describe in excruciating detail precisely what's...
Yeah, this only that person can tell you what happened that time. Anything else doesn't even matter. That specific moment is the reason why it happened. You know what I mean? It's in that moment. Only that person can describe what they were thinking at that time.
Was going through his mind as that guy came up with the skateboard and he decided to pull the finger on that AK-47 and kill him. Only he can do that. So the point I'm trying to make is reasonableness on the person using self-defense is what matters. Me and your opinion is irrelevant.
Hold on.
I'm not sitting here saying Chud is innocent. What I am saying is that based on the facts and circumstances, his reasonableness is going to be based on things that me and you don't know about.
Yeah.
get that
Here's
point,
the
I
thing,
get
though.
that point.
If we're going on, if we're going on probability, just based on anything that you might know, currently, he's fucking cooked, right? Like, no, it's cool saying he has a 5% chance. Like, of course. Like, if he has, like, yo, if you punch me in this corner of my mouth, my doctor done told me I'm going to pass out. I have a gun. He might kill me. So I shot him. Cool. That might be a really great defense. From what we know, this is a 6'3" white guy who looks like he got a little bit weight to him. It doesn't look like that if you get punched by a random civilian, you could use your gun. That's what I'm trying to establish. Of course, he might have some loophole. It's fine. I'm not saying he can't. What I'm saying is that let's not acknowledge that he did the right thing for the majority of people that are going to be in his position. He did the wrong thing. He should have squabbled up. But because he shot the guy, he's going to have to rely on one of these kooky-ass things that you described. Hey, he has a pacemaker. Hey, you never know. Maybe he thought he was like a girl and he can't deal with a punch. Cool, maybe that works, but the reality of it is that this isn't open and shut. For example, you know what's open and shut? We don't got to go to 10 or 5%. Hey, the guy says, yo, you Chud? Man, and he reaches, I've been trying to get up with you. Chud pulls out, shoots him. That's going to be easy. That's a 90% chance you're getting off. What you're mentioning is that the guy couldn't take a punch, so he shot. Yeah, he's going to spend maybe millions in legal fees and probably still go to jail.
What I'm telling you is that we don't know how many times he got punched, okay? He got punched one time and the camera fell and you can hear them struggling.
Yeah, but Myron,
we don't know if he got... Again.
Myron, this one part you're saying you don't know, but you're certain that you know other parts. You're like, I know the guy approached him. Maybe we don't know that either. What I'm saying is that if we're assuming, let's assume everything.
That was on video, I know that because it was on video.
Yeah, I haven't seen that video. You have the video?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yo, there's video of this, man.
Okay, so there's a video of the guy walking up to him.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen that video.
The police are trying to subpoena it right now. That's why I'm saying all this, Yo, the dude closed the distance on him, bruh. And then he punched him.
Is there a video of the whole altercation, like the whole, precursor to the altercation?
It shows everything before the altercation. And then on top of that, after he punches him, the camera falls to the floor. So you don't see what happens. You just hear struggling for a few seconds, then shots go off.
Wait. Do you have the video? You could play it?
I don't have it.
Oh. Who has it?
Pump Fun, I'll tell you why. Pump Fun deleted it because it heard gunshots. They have automatic AI where if gunshots are heard on a stream, it shuts it down.
So how do we have the info on it if no one's seen it?
Yeah, you know what? We have to see the video, man. If there's video evidence of what Myron's saying what actually happened, and he saw these sort of things, and that's what happened, and someone screenshot the whole thing, then there's a case.
Wait, how do we have the info on it if like, I'm guessing only the people who live see it?
Several people in my community saw the live stream. That's why. That's how I know. They watched it. They were there watching it live as this all happened, and then once the shots went off, the stream ended and Pump Fun took it off.
Well, again, I would still disagree with that.
So basically, Pump Fun will know that there's been deleted footage in it. So only the streaming people would know in it if that can back up the whole story that Myron's telling it. If that's the case, people, then yeah, they'll have to get that whole footage from that part of it.
Just based off the arrest warrant. Like what they're saying in the arrest warrant is that this guy is basically automatically on I am going to inflict damage. Some people might say defensive, the blade is stance or whatever. He's reaching for something. And I'm not gonna lie. If I put this in a vacuum, if I'm standing in front of someone, I have the knowledge that this guy claims he's always armed, and we're getting into it. Yo, say this, yo, I'm triggered by this. If you say it, I'm gonna crash out. And all of a sudden he's in a bladed stance and I see him going for this and I don't have a weapon, I'm either gonna run away, be like, whoa, you got it? Or if I'm that bold, I'm trying to make sure you don't get to the weapon. So that in a vacuum, I don't think that backs him up.
I can see what I can say right there. You're gonna think in a moment, either to just go leave the situation or defend for your life.
Okay, let's assume that the dude sees let's use your scenario. You still come at them when they said, back up, I got a gun? Wouldn't it be fair to say that if they still strike you after you give them that warning that they're trying to probably cause serious bodily injury?
I don't know if he's warning him, too. See, I don't know if he's warning him. And that's where I think this guy not being dead is going to come back and haunt him. Because you know why? When that guy gets on the stand as a victim who's alive and breathing and says, hey, when he says he warned me and provocation is going to then turn into a very who do you believe? He said, she said. It's going to get racial now, right? Because the guy is going to say, hey, I didn't provoke him. He provoked me. And I'm pretty sure Dalton is going to say, no, he provoked me and he wouldn't walk away.
Okay. The video disproves it, and it shows that the guy walked up to him. And again, after he punched Chud, the camera fell, and we don't know what happened. You could just hear struggling. Then shots fired. So it wasn't one punch.
But from the video, could we see if he has a gun in his hand at that point?
Yeah.
We can't see.
Because he punched them and the camera fell, and then you hear them struggling on the side.
So there's a possibility that maybe he only got punched after Dalton grabbed, might be pepper spray, but he grabbed something, and which I think is perfectly normal. There's some people that there's fight and flight, but there's some people that's not fighting. Hey, you go grab for that weapon, you're getting one of these to the face.
Sure, but guess what? He closed the distance, so he has no self-defense case. That's the point. He came up to Judd, lost. And no self-defense on his side.
But you're also that's where you're starting the altercation at. I'm starting the altercation at the conversation.
When he said hello?
Yeah. If I would say, I don't know exactly what he said, but you approaching the guys at first started all of this.
They pointed and laughed at him. Then he came over to say hello. Then they said, get out of here, whatever. He leaves. Come on, man. If you really think high counts as provocation, what are we doing here, bro? Come on, man.
The real provocation started where the moment he said, I'm going to be honest with you, the moment he said, oh, or what, you're going to chimp out? I'm going to be honest with you. I think that dude socked him out with one of them ancestor punches. It came from Martin Luther King all the way to Marcus Garvey.
He gave the Martin Luther King.
And Rosa Parks. He had to do it, bro. I can't. Again, yo, listen. Okay,
so that
dude, that dude Dalton. No, Dalton provoked him. Dalton should have realized. Listen, you're not only provoking a person, you're provoking an entire race of people, bro. Your rhetoric and you IRL streaming, you could have avoided that.
None of that has to do with this use of force situation, bro. You over here talking about MLK. Bro,
no.
None of that
I'm not saying it was right to punch him, but I understand if Malcolm was like, yo, man, knock this racist ass bum out. Now, after he hits you once, if you want to go with your 3%, like, oh, okay, but what about if he had a pacemaker? He could have been a girl. He can't handle a punch. If that's what you want to go with, by the way, if Dalton had beat him down, you know what I would have said? I promise you. I would have said, yo, y'all black dudes pulling up on Dalton. Better know how to squabble, because he's put, you know what, you know how crazy it would have been if he beat that nigga's ass? But no, he's a bitch. He pulled out his gun, he tried to shoot the guy and kill him. And here's the thing, I don't have a problem with you using your weapon, because I have my weapon, and if I need to use it, I want to be able to use it. But don't use it because
Inch's cider is packed full of British apple.
Damn, bare ads, man, bare ads. Like, but so far, people, man, what are you thinking about this conversation, man? Like, I see you from both sides, innit? What Ak is saying and Ryan Gaines is saying in this conversation. Definitely, I can see both sides, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. I see both points and stuff like that. I don't disagree on stuff on both sides. I disagree, you know what I mean? There's some things, good things that they're both saying.
Organizing shit and can't fight. You're too scared to fight. You're scared of anything physical, and you think that the threat of this thing on your hip is going to protect people from punching you square in the mouth. That's where he had it wrong. If he had squabbled up with this guy, and if the guy reached for a gun, I promise you, I'll be like, yo, yeah, that guy shouldn't have reached for a gun. They know how Dalton get down. Dalton murdered him, left his brain on the pavement. I wouldn't like it, but I'd be like, yo, it is what it is. The guy never pulled a gun. Dalton is an entire pussy. He pulled his gun, and because he can't handle one of these, I'm telling you, it was like an ancestral
So act
Black
again.
History Month like punch.
We gotta, okay, bro. I know you're trolling now at this point.
I'm not trolling.
Yo, nigga, you're trolling. You're on the heady right
believe
now,
he
bro.
said that.
But bro's
It's
talking about Martin
Espelon.
Luther King and a bunch of shit like that.
Academics on the heady, yeah.
Yo, act. Come on, man. Let's be serious. In this case, these facts and circumstances,
Martin,
basically, yo, are you saying black people can't have accountability, bro? If you say chimp out, they're gonna hit you. Like, come on, bro. Like, you're perpetuating the stereotypes of everybody says, bro.
No,
oh, are
Myron.
you gonna chimp out and punches them? Like, bro, this is why people are tired of niggas, bro. I gotta
Hold
keep
on.
it 1,000.
All right,
This
hold
is
on.
why people are tired of blacks.
no, hold on, but Myron, you
Like,
don't
they can't even take accountability. Imagine a world where saying, "Hey, you gonna chimp out?" is
Myron,
fighting
Myron,
words
hold on.
just punched. What?
Myron, I'm gonna tell you what world that is. The world is every time I've watched Sneeko, he's like, everybody hold hands, let's come together, let's pray to Allah, this and third. And then I looked over Israel, they put his face on a bomb. Okay? So in the real world, I haven't seen Sneeko done nothing to nobody. But they'll put his face on a bomb and drop it on a city. That's way less than some guy saying a word and getting punched in the face. Yes, when you have words, even if it's not violent, other people meet those words. If they feel what you're saying is violent or disrespectful or offensive, they meet that with violence. Okay? It's not black people, because let me ask you a question. Do you think what that black guy did to Chud, I didn't know Israel was putting Sneeko's name on bombs. What do you think is worse? So when you say that only black people do that, it looked like other people do it too. I think I could Google it. They put Sneeko's name on a bomb, and Sneeko has I've never seen him physically harm anybody that's Jewish. But you know why? He got the rhetoric that they don't like. It's offensive to them. And in their response to that offense is not by saying, you know what, we're mature. They're saying, put his name on a bond and let's go kill some people. That's true, right?
Act. They put my name on a bomb too.
They think the same about you. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that you're saying it's only black people that are triggered to violence. Well, what about the Jewish people that you have rhetoric that don't go along with them? They put y'all names on bombs and inflict violence with it. It's not just black people. It's everybody when it comes to offense. People just think that black people are pussy and they should not be able to do anything when they're offended. But when you offend Jewish people, your name is on a bomb.
Okay, so
Right?
let me get this straight. Are you comparing a self-defense case to a geopolitical quagmire in the Middle East?
It doesn't start off as a self-defense case. It starts off as one man trying to have racial division. One man who's trying to offend a whole different race. A whole race of people? Yes. Yes. Hold on. All right, wait. Hear what I'm saying. Sneeko is a fucking irrelevant commentator. Why are they putting his name on a bomb? Just like how Chud is an irrelevant streamer. But you know why? Their rhetoric matters that much to the offended people that your name is on a bomb. This guy's rhetoric, Chud, matters that much. That's why you're getting punched in the mouth. Yes, it's the same thing. I get it. You want to say this thing overseas is bigger? Granted, I get it. I get it just boils down to one self-defense case in this situation. But the point is this. If you picked any group of people that have any self-pride and you pick on them and you target them with racial epithets, if you target them with slurs and you try to offend and oppress them, especially using language, at some point they're going to slap you in your face, punch in your mouth, or put a bullet in your forehead. That's fact.
Okay, again, you're comparing self-defense in America to
I'm comparing offense. I'm comparing offense.
Okay, that is not analogous. Those two things are not analogous whatsoever. Like,
Myron, you're from Sudan. If people said certain things about the Sudan,
in a fight is not the same as
the fight is not the thing. It's the offense. It's the offense because Sneeko has never fought. Here's what I'm saying. Yo,
what does it have to do with self-defense though?
Hear what I'm saying. No, hear what I'm saying. I'm not justifying why somebody but it's the reason why
I mean, there's offense on both parts. I can see what I can see what both are saying. I can see both people can be offended in the situation.
You said black people. That's it. Like, are they not mature enough to not do that? And I said, every race or group of people, when they get enough disrespect, they react violently. Israel, like I guarantee even your people of Sudan, if the disrespect either from neighboring countries or whoever they've been into it with got to a certain level, violence would occur. So I'm not defending violence, but to act, and that's the Sneako's point, act like, oh, you can say whatever, violence should never come.
You're not defending it, you're justifying it, and that's
no,
my
it's not
point.
justifying it. It's understand the realities of the world, right? The realities of why Sneako says, hey, well, listen, why is the FBI publishing this manifesto of the San Diego shooter? Well, didn't you also say that words shouldn't mean nothing? So who cares about the words that this guy said? That's
not my argument. Again, Ak, I'm trying to be very patient on this and just keep.
Okay.
Look, we are debating self-defense in a specific case based around a specific individual in a specific case with a specific pattern of facts. We are not talking about Israel-Palestine. That is completely not analogous to the situation. You're arguing.
I get At's point of what he's saying about being offended. I get it. I do get it, what you're trying to say, but it doesn't. Yeah, I do get it. It's two different type of things.
Argument is, if you talk shit
it's
about
impossible to do.
Hold on. Your argument, let me make sure I have this correct. You're saying if you talk shit about a group of people who have been oppressed, you deserve to get assaulted. Is that your position?
No, I said at some point you're going to run into someone who will assault you.
Fair. That person that assaults you, shouldn't they go to jail?
Depend on what disrespect you're doing and how much you're feeding into it. For example, For example,
he didn't disrespect them though. He walked away. For
example, if this guy was just online, there's another racist guy. Hold on. No. We're gonna get into that. No.
Bro, he didn't provoke this guy.
Wait. No, Myron, we're gonna get into that. What I'm trying to say is that there's another guy. He even fought on Aiden's brand risk event. He's not outside provoking black people. He stays in his room. He gets on Monkey. He says the N-word. He says whatever. Like, people don't like it, right? But there isn't this guy who's now provoking maybe a possible physical altercation, because he understands the more you say that you keep stepping outside and doing it in people's faces. Yes. By the way, I've always said the person who's going to do something to this guy, they're going to acknowledge that they're getting an assault charge. Of course. Yes. They're going to say, you know what? I'm going to take a simple assault and go get 100,000 on GoFundMe. That's what Chud even responded to me with, because I said, listen, I'm not saying it's legal for someone to do it, but when you offend a group, and trust me, I know people think that, whether it's African Americans or black people, but I feel like he's attacking people that share black skin. It's not even about, it's one thing if you're like,
Act. You're stripping all the accountability from black people, and what you're arguing right now is if you insult a black person, you should expect to get punched, and that's the problem.
So I'll say this unequivocally on the record.
Like, bruh,
if you insult black people as a collective consistently, expect something bad to happen to you. I just don't know who will be the radical who do it.
Fair.
Just like if you insult Muslims, some guy is going to blow you up, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, let's go with that. You're saying if you talk shit about black people, right? You're saying it's not legal, but someone's going to hurt you. Fair?
Yes, any group.
Okay. Do you have the right to defend yourself if that happens then?
You do.
Case closed. You lost.
No,
bro.
Whoa.
No, I can't even lie. Yeah, he got him right there.
Case closed.
No.
Case closed, bro.
Wait. Hold on.
Like,
wait. You're missing a bunch of things. I'll use personal examples. Okay, people might think I antagonize rappers, right? People might think I antagonize rappers.
Closed.
No, because you miss a bunch of steps. If I go out to like a Lil Baby concert and I try to engage with him and antagonize him, right? And then he does something, or someone with him does something, then I react. At that point, I'm provoking him. You see, that's what we have to understand about the people like Chud and others. You're provoking people in real life, not behind your computer, in real life, in their face, and the stakes are usually getting a fight or getting shot. So this idea of like for example, no, if someone broke into Chud's house and killed him,
We do full fiber broadband, so you...
He did make Myron's point of view stronger though, I can't even lie. He literally just admitted that. That's where he just got, his argument's not valid right there now.
great. I'd be like, oh, that's actually a problem. That's not a good thing, right? Like, you know, again, if he's not in the act of provoking someone, I don't think someone should murder the guy. I wouldn't stand for that.
You don't provoke though.
Well, that's where we're gonna have a difference of opinion. I think every time that boy stepped out in public with a camera in hand, he was always provoking. Always.
That's irrelevant. He did not provoke on the day this incident happens. That's all that matters, Ak. The only thing that matters, Ak, is did he provoke him on that day?
Yeah, but
the answer is no. And by your
the
own
answer is no for you.
Even if you're
No. I'll tell you why it's no for you, because you've already stated on the record if someone said the N-word to you, you wouldn't feel that offended. If someone said it to me, that would be beyond fighting words. And I'm a nonviolent person.
All right.
So again, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I ran into Dalton, I would almost think any unwarranted conversation with them is him provoking me. I know who you are. I know what you do. We have nothing to talk about, Dalton. Dalton, we have nothing to talk about, Dalton.
All right. Okay, you say that. Dalton, I don't fuck with you. Okay, have a good day. Walk away. Are you justified in walking up to him again and saying, yeah, I got PTSD?
That might get, if that's what it is, that might get it sticky a little bit. But what
That's what happened.
Yeah, but that's
what
hold on.
happened.
You're acting like this is like a slam dunk exoneration case. I'm saying that based on everything we've mentioned a lot right now. I think he has, at best, 15% really good explanations for a few hurdles he has to get out of, right? I told you the main hurdles. Using deadly force. Did you incite or provoke? Again.
No.
All right. So again, if everything falls your way, I still don't see this as oh, this is 85%, he beats it. I see this as, 15%, and, you know, if things fall his way and we find out more facts, I'm not saying he can't, but all I wanted you to admit was that, you see, people are supporting this guy because they're emboldened by him because they would never do what he did. But you also are doing a disservice by not just admitting what he did was fucking stupid. He played the dumbest game, and right now, I know a guy got shot, he's recovering, but he's sitting in jail, eating a bunch of bullshit, and the prosecutors want to keep him till trial.
We're going all over the place, bro. We got to keep it factual, okay? On this, I'm making the argument on this specific narrow scope of this self-defense argument. Now, when it comes to self-defense, bro, there's 5 checks, okay? Innocence, imminence, proportionality, avoidance, and reasonableness. And I'll go through each of them. Innocence. Did he have a right to be there? Yes. Imminence. Did he get attacked, or was there a reasonable expectation that there might be some serious bodily injury? Yes. He got punched. Avoidance.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
You gotta let me finish.
No, because you're about to skip past point 2. Point 2 works for both parties.
Hold on. There's 5 things in self-defense. And literally, I had this talk with a self-defense lawyer.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying point 2 works for both parties. You're only thinking about Chud because you're aligned with Chud mostly. If you're saying that there was an imminent, I think I even tweeted out. I said everybody should approach this guy with caution. He is sending out rhetoric, and he is saying he is down to commit murder. If anyone has that knowledge, when they see him, there is imminent threat. Why does that not apply to the person that would be on the opposite side of the gun? How come only Dalton could feel threatened?
No. Again, let's go through it one more time. Innocence, was he legally there? Yes. Okay. Imminence, he got punched in the face. Okay. Proportionality, we can have an argument about that one because we don't know how many what went down after the camera fell. Avoidance, he tried to walk away. Reasonableness, well, we don't know what Dalton knew at the time he pulled the trigger. But for all the other things, right, he pretty much had a right to be there, and that other guy closed the gap on him, punched him.
That's the
so
only
now
point
the
you've made.
imminence factor
He
is
had a
back.
right to be there, but the other thing seems like it's going to be heavily debated, and that's where I say, like, you know, I see a bunch of these guys.
Okay, so you don't think he followed him? You
Huh?
don't think he followed him?
I don't think that has nothing to do with a threat. If you say something to me, hold on, Myron, hold on. If
Yeah, he should not have followed them after he told them not to be around me. That doesn't make no sense. I can't even lie. I can't even back on that. He followed. He for what he's Myron GAINES is saying about the vigil. He said the guy proceeded to follow him after he told them to go away from the group. That makes no sense.
you're walking by and you say something and I don't hear it, right? I'm making up a fake scenario, and I walk over to you and I'm like, bro, what'd you say? So now you're saying that I'm not a Myron. I don't know. Maybe like your audience is like looking from a different. I feel like you're arguing the unpopular position here. I haven't seen many. I have seen self-defense lawyers who say, hey, listen, no, it is possible for him to beat. But no one is saying that, oh, this is like clear self-defense. And that's what you're kind of like trying to put across is like, no, it's not. This guy's an idiot. He actually put himself in a position and had a misunderstanding of the law.
Give me your. So let's go through this. I gave you gave you the facts that were told to me by eyewitnesses that watched the stream. For those that just joined, here's the fact pattern. He's there by the courthouse.
Booze mean money.
Grab the fridge now, limited time.
Here a Mo, win £10,000.
Walks up to them, says hello. One of them makes a comment about get the fuck out of here. He's like, okay, I could be wherever I want. Walks away. One of the people that said that walk up to him. As he walks up to him, he gets right in his face, almost nose to nose, says, hey, say that shit to me, see what happens. I got PTSD. And then Chud says, oh, or what? You're going to chimp out? As soon as he says that, punched, camera falls to the floor. We hear some struggle, some sound from there. You hear Chud saying, like, get him off me, blah, blah. And then you hear shots fired, right? So that's the fact pattern that eyewitnesses told me. Now, what's your fact pattern? Because I think that's why me and you are not agreeing. What's your fact pattern?
So, it was always, from what I've seen online, he's, I don't know if he's walking outside court or whatever, but he's there. He puts these guys on camera. Maybe they were laughing at him, maybe they weren't. And he's saying whatever he's saying. One of them.
What did he say, though? This is important. What did he say, though?
Well,
this is super important.
Not too sure if that's important. Well, let me finish the rest, and you tell me if it's important.
All right.
Basically, it's at that point because these guys turned down having a conversation with him, like, we're good, we don't want to talk, right? So, like, he okay, let's say he's saying what's up. They don't want to talk, right? And they basically then tell him, like, hey, listen, seeing some of the stuff you do, hey, if you do that type of stuff with us, or maybe the guy said himself, if you do that with me, I have PTSD. It's not going to turn out good. Chud then says that. After that, the dude assaults him, 100%. Chud, after getting assaulted, pulls out a gun and tries to execute the man.
Okay.
What it says is that man is guilty of assault, but Chud is guilty of attempted murder. He tried to murder a guy who did not. It is not proportional force. He just literally is a trigger-happy thug.
Keep in mind, the police did not have the pump fund when they made the arrest, because they literally made the arrest within hours. They did not have the pump fund stream at that point.
They had him in custody for hours. They had him in custody for hours, and they heard his side and the guy's side.
Footage. Yeah, they didn't have the footage, though. That's the point. And again, like I said, high-profile cases like this, racially charged, they're going to go ahead. Now, let's go back through your scenario, because there's a couple things that are missing. You said he went up to them and said hello. Fair? You agree with that?
Yeah.
What else did he say?
Second, my bad.
Okay, so let's go through your fact pattern again. He walks up to them. What did he say?
You saying what up? Like, yo, let's go with y'all. You're trying to start a conversation.
Okay, they say get the fuck out of here. Then what?
Then he continues. So he continues to. I don't believe he just walks away. I believe he continues to try to engage, and that's when, because it would make no sense. Why say get the fuck out of here if you're gonna try to stalk him down to try to engage with him.
Okay, let me see here. Because I got the thing here from someone that watched the stream. So, do you agree that the guy followed him?
No. I think the guy approached him. But if you want to call that followed, maybe. But the guy approached him after turning it down.
Yeah, but wait, how would he approach him though? Someone has to approach someone else. I don't understand that.
That he does not want to do a conversation with Chud.
Okay, so, because this is very important, Act. We have to make sure we have this part rock solid. He comes up, says hello. They say, get out of here. He walks away. Did the guy follow him or not in your narrative?
I think the guy approached him. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think he walked away.
Did he approach him as Chud was walking away?
I don't believe that. I think Chud was trying to have a conversation.
So you think he just stood there the whole time? You don't think he walked away? Stood
there or in the vicinity, not clearly like, hey, I'm trying to not deal with you guys anymore. Because his job is to get these altercations, my nigga. Like, he's not...
Okay.
Like, I've watched him a bit. Again, we have to use some of his past. Again, we're assuming here, but we got to use some of his past against him. It's not like he's like, hey, you guys want to talk? And they say... Have you ever seen that? Where he says, hey, y'all want to talk? And they say, no. And he says, oh, okay, later. He usually pushes a conversation. I've seen him with a white guy where he says, oh, you must be an N-word lover. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you one of them liberal cucks. Like, he pushes the conversation. That's what gets him clicks. He's not the... Hey, let me invite you for a mutually engaging conversation. If you're down to do it, let's talk. If you're not down to do it, I'll walk away peacefully. That's what you've seen about Chud?
Yeah, I'm going to show you what I mean now, because I literally, I'll show you the tweet, and other people in my community confirmed this for me. Let me share a screen and show you real fast. All right, can you see that on your screen?
Estrella, please. Estrella Dragon.
What does it taste like?
People, what are you thinking about the stream so far? You liking the stream so far? Let me know, people, man. Are you agreeing with Akademiks or agreeing with Myron GAINES from Fresh and Fit? Let me know.
Okay, so
what's Myron showing on?
This comes from the facts according to over 100 witnesses watching the stream. Chud told the guy, I hope your day gets better, God bless. Chud had already walked away. It was about 70 to 100 yards away. The man went out of his way to run up to Chud while his back was turned. He confronted Chud. He punched Chud in the face. Chud didn't instigate anything. That's basically what happened. And this comes from over 100 witnesses that saw the live stream.
100 witnesses looking from his POV, but the arrest warrant comes from the police officers looking at surveillance. Come on. Like, no, well, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I believe the cops with everything, but it's like, hey, so when did they observe him in a bladed stance reaching for a weapon? They didn't, right? Because it's his POV. They don't know what's happening behind the camera or to the side or the peripheral of the camera.
Like I said before, he has mace, uses mace.
Mace or not, as you said, is what the person thought at the time. Hey, this guy says leaving a chimp's brain on the pavement. I'm not thinking he's reaching for mace. I'm thinking he's reaching for a gun. So yeah, I socked him in the mouth.
That doesn't justify you walking up to them, punching them. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, Chud has the right to defend himself. If the guy comes back towards him and he takes a bladed stance and reaches, he has the right to do that. And the dude still got in his face. Bro, the guy you're defending is wrong in every way. You cannot initiate the altercation and walk up to him. Chud walked away. He disengaged.
Hold on. I'm not saying the guy was right. What I'm saying is that I think he should be charged with assault, and Chud has the right charges. Attempted murder. Hey, the point is this.
Himself.
You should not, you cannot shoot. Listen, you got punched in the face. Listen, we should probably, I want a lawyer to actually like, and again, we're not talking about this 1% possibility like, oh no, it was a girl. What about if the person weighed twice the amount? What about if they have a pacemaker? What about if like they just can't take,
that's not my argument.
On a balance of probabilities, if you get punched, like again, you know, a lot of people look at you crazy, in terms of, yo, Myron knows the law. You would not recommend to your audience that if they are legally licensed to carry a gun, if they got punched, they should shoot the person. That would be just sending them to jail. Again, it doesn't work like that.
Again, getting punched in the face the reaction to that is relative and subjective. This is why the law is written where is it reasonable? Me and you do not know the facts of what happened after he punched. When I talked about the pacemaker and the women, that's not the point, Act. The point was to establish that you even made concessions and said, oh, well, those people might have a justification to use deadly force. That proves my point. So is it reasonable based on the individual that was assaulted, bro? That's all it is. You're really complicating this.
No. Me agreeing with
this. This is where the person on the stand would be like Chud and the other guy. Like, they would have to give their version of the story.
With you is like saying, hey, listen, yes, in any self-defense, you know, if you're going to use self-defense as a thing, you could probably try to justify it. My thing to you was, hey, could you, if on a balance of probabilities on how often you think that would be successful? I'm not saying it won't be successful here, but would you give the opinion or the advice to someone that potentially is in Chud's position? Let's say we're removing other variables. We're just going to call them unknown. We don't know who approached who. We don't know whatever. All we know is a punch to the face. All we know is a punch to the face. Do you advise a person who has a weapon to shoot the other person, or do you not? Let's remove all other variables. We're going to say unknown at this point. Only thing we know is someone got punched in the face. On a balance of probabilities, you have 100 people in your chat, 100 people in my chat. Would you tell them that shooting someone after that, you'll probably be free? Or would you say, see ya in 20 years? Which one would you give the advice of?
I would say it depends on what you felt and saw at the time.
It's always going to depend. I'm asking you for a general thing about, hey, listen, if we don't know the circumstances, most likely if you do this when you get punched, you're either going to be exonerated or you're probably going to go to jail, unless.
See, here's the thing. When it comes to self-defense,
you have to prove it.
It's different for every single person. What's reasonable for you to use deadly force might not be reasonable for me to use deadly force. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but Myron,
it's relative.
You're not. I'm trying to ask this general. I know. I'm not. Again, I'm not sitting here saying that self-defense cannot work even in this situation. I'm saying on a balance of probabilities, if you're a law enforcement agent, let's say you've gotten 100 cases in front of you, right? And all you saw in the details was person A got punched.
It's free to sell on eBay.
I think Myron's trying to say basically, like, it depends. Everyone has their, like, yeah, it will have to be why you used it for that person. Everyone's got different.
And shot person B. Would you think yes, every case is going to have some nuance, but would you think mostly, hey, that person is within his right? So generally, do you think that person is within his right? Or it would be an extraordinary circumstance that that person's within his right, even though they could be, but most likely, if you respond to a punch with a gunshot, you're going to jail. That's all I'm asking.
Okay. Did they try to punch again, or did they back off?
I told you we only know one thing. We only know one thing.
If in a magical scenario, if you walk up, punch him, and then immediately back up or run away, it would be harder to justify self-defense. But we know that didn't happen. Why? Because the camera falls and you hear them struggling and fighting. So the one punch scenario you're giving is not in this case.
Myron,
here's the fact. Here's it. Look.
You're avoiding it so much. You're avoiding.
I'm not avoiding it.
No, because you're not giving a simple answer. All right, hold on. You're not giving it a simple answer. All right, I'm gonna make it even simpler. The question here is proportionality. Could a punch, generally, could a punch being escalated to a return of gunfire be seen most likely in random cases as proportional? Is that like a no-brainer, or is it like, for it to be seen, we got to know the other things because, wow, again, certain things are...
We have to know the other things. If you're going to... There's a reason why proportionality is not the only factor in self-defense. There's 5.
Okay, I agree with you.
5.
So you're agreeing that there is a tremendous leap, and this is not proportional, but you do think that the other circumstances might actually justify proportionality, correct?
Yeah, he's trying to say it plays a play, people, you know what I mean?
Okay,
Yes.
and to that I say, it becomes the point of we're not talking about generalities no more. You're talking about that 10% chance. So, fine,
Self-defense, what I'm telling you, self-defense is inherently not general. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Self-defense is inherently not general. And the reason why it's not general is because everyone else has different facts and circumstances that were going through their mind at the time they pulled the trigger.
Self-defense with a weapon.
That's
that
why.
is. If self-defense generally is reciprocal, if you ask me. Like, for example, if you're minding your business and a guy comes and attacks you and you beat him to a bloody pulp, right? You've defended yourself with your fists or your feet, and he attacked you with his fists and his feet, right?
Okay,
that
so
is proportional. In most cases where it gets charged is usually, okay, it's not proportional or it's really not self-defense at all. But
Okay.
I
so you just said-
was arguing about fist and gun. Fist, gun.
Okay, all right, again. Fist versus gun, okay? When it comes to proportionality, you cannot measure off of just proportionality. If you're going to just try to compare an apple to an orange, yeah, then it wouldn't match up. But that's not how self-defense works.
I'm saying generally. I'm saying generally, though.
There's no generality when it comes to self-defense because everyone's different.
Everyone's different, yeah. Yeah, man. What?
Martin, you realize this is a point you make. You make this point on After Hours all the time.
Can a punch kill you, bro? Can one punch kill you?
In a 2% chance, yes. But are we talking about 2%? That's the point. You make this point a lot on After Hours, where it's like, hey, listen, we could nuance every conversation to, yo, I got this one friend, you know, she got married to her guy don't cheat. And it's like, bitch, shut up. Like, we're talking generally here.
Right, bro. Nuance is the name of the game in self-defense. You cannot remove nuance when it comes to self-defense because every single self-defense case is different. There's no such thing as generalities when it comes to self-defense. If there was generalities with self-defense, we would all be in fucking jail, bro. Because
nuance exists. Nuance exists, but the success rate is
nuance is an inherent component to self-defense. It is literally inextricable.
No. Nuance is the percentage of the win rate of those circumstances, right? So when I say there's a 15%, it means in general, most times you see self-defense, when things get ruled as self-defense, whether it's charged or not, we usually see proportional activities. I punch you, you punch me. If I get knocked out, hey, you punch them first, self-defense. That's generally
just real apples, real.
I can't even lie, man. There's some points making. There's some good points in this one, man. There's some good points, man. It's just like, where does it draw a line, basically, you know?
It's where the charges get filed. You shot him, he punched you. Okay, maybe there is a valid argument for you shooting him, but it's at least not valid enough that you go on charge. A straight self-defense case that is general, you don't get charged for. If somebody shot at you, right? You're outside, somebody shot at you, you pull your weapon, you shoot him in the head. You think you're getting charged like Chud? No, because that's the general self-defense. But when it gets to this nuance thing, was he really provoked? Oh, did he use too much force? That's when you're battling a lawsuit.
Right. Act. Let me ask you this. Does being charged mean you're guilty?
No, but it's
perfect. So, if being charged doesn't necessarily mean you're guilty, because you're making an argument, yo, if you punch someone or someone punches you and you pull out a gun and shoot them, you're probably going to get arrested. All right, fair. But here's the thing. Does that mean you are guilty?
No.
That's the big key. Probable cause, bro, is down here, okay? Beyond a reasonable doubt is up here. So it's going to be on the state to prove.
Yeah, that's why I said you have to prove it, why you used it, reasonable force, or why you used it for a reason.
Yeah, he didn't act in self-defense. The state has the burden. So just
I agree, but
because-
Myron, you're making my point. So you're right. Like, you're making my point in the fact that you're right. Yes, it doesn't mean he's automatically guilty. And also, I just said that because it's a
being
nuance.
charged means nothing.
Hold on. It does mean something because right now he's not free. And again, here's my overall point. He played a stupid game, and the stupid game is because he's now in this nuanced clusterfuck. If he because he's in this nuanced clusterfuck, it is a reason why he lost. Even if he beats the case, you're in this nuanced clusterfuck because you're an idiot.
Okay. See, notice.
Yeah, and of course he is an idiot for doing what he done people. Don't get confused. He knew this was gonna happen once, like one day, innit? I agree with that.
You shifted the goalpost and made it more personal, and you're saying, well, even if it is self-defense, he's stupid for being in this situation. That's not what I'm here to argue.
No, I didn't necessarily say that.
You literally just said he's stupid because he's in jail right now. He got charged.
No, because he's stupid because I've been trying to get you to say generally. Like if I had to give advice to my audience, if you have a gun on you and someone punches you, don't shoot him. If you shoot him, hold on. Here's the thing. If you shoot him, you should be willing to go sit in jail for months, potentially years, fighting that case. Again, so that's my thing. I'm telling the safe way to handle things. You're not down to call this guy exactly what he is, a straight up pussy. He got punched, and now he shot someone, and even if he doesn't get found guilty, he's in a position because the law doesn't exactly like exonerate him on face value. If it was something where he punched the guy back out, even if he punched him and the guy died, self-defense, he doesn't go to jail.
Okay. Would it be, do you agree? Well, it's not even that you agree. You know that use of force, lethal use of force, is based on reasonableness, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what one punch is to one person, right? You should be squabbling versus another punch to someone else might be lethal force. It's contingent on the individual, bro.
And I've said repeatedly, you're arguing a 15% point. Like the majority of Americans, if we go do a poll, because these are the people who are going to be on the jury. If we do a random poll, we can do it in your chat. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
People get arrested for using. Anytime you get in a shooting, bro, even if you're in the right, you're going to get arrested 90% of the time.
I know you got a couple thousand in there. We have a couple thousand in here. We should do a poll, get at least 2,000 votes. Just these two facts. Again, we could argue the other facts. Is using a gun after you've gotten punched self-defense? And I guarantee most people would say no. No, that's not like killing somebody.
You're isolating a very specific point without adding context, and we cannot assess a self-defense case off of that alone.
And to that point, I say that's a 15% thing, because now you're using like these nuances to try to justify, which is like,
to be proved
no.
Why you
Let's analyze the generalities. If you see on face value that someone used a gun, yeah, that's for a punch. That's something that it better have so much nuance to it. I don't think it does. You think it does? I don't think it does have so much nuance to it. You think it do?
You want me to look that up?
Go ahead.
You want me to look it up?
Look up what?
Okay. Hold on. Let me pull this shit up right now. What is the percentage? People arrested after self-defense shooting on probable cause.
Unarmed. You also got to mention that someone attacks you unarmed, you shoot him, kill him, and they do not get an arrest.
again, you do realize that your hands can be considered a deadly weapon. Like,
No,
you
absolutely.
It's true.
Because you just said earlier,
It's
you
true.
beat somebody within a bloody pulp. Like, that proves that hands can be a deadly weapon.
You're right.
Like,
This
okay,
is a specific
it's not really the
two-way
weapon,
thing.
it's the use of